The anime begins with Kusanagi Kei, our main character, thinking about the world and the passage of time. Suddenly, a spaceship descends in the center of the lake, creating a tremendous vortex. Kei is shocked when a woman comes out of the spaceship and starts pursuing him, so he runs away. He falls into the water when he isn't paying attention. When he opens his eyes, though, he sees that he is at school, which makes him think it was all a dream. Then he attempts to discuss about the vortex he witnessed in the lake, but Hyasuke, a classmate, cuts him off and tells him that their instructor has quit and they will have a new one. Kei feels like he's going to pass out as he listens, but he fights it off. Hyasuke tells everyone that the new teacher is quite beautiful, and he is right when a beautiful woman walks into the classroom. Kei, who is slowly waking up, remembers her from the night before, but she humbly tells them that she is their instructor, Mizuho Kazami. When he gets home later, he begs his uncle Minoru to look him over. Everything seems good. Instead, his uncle asks about the new instructor, since news spreads swiftly in a tiny town. Kei says she's gorgeous and goes back to his room. Then he sees his teacher moving into the house next door from his balcony. She will be his neighbor. He runs down to help her with her belongings. He trips and falls on Mizuho while carrying a box. She then surprises him by saying she recalls him from the night before at the lake. Kei passes out, and when he wakes up, he says that he has been passing out since he was a child. But then he remembers what happened last night and runs outside. Mizuho teleports him to her spaceship to explain what's going on and make sure no one else knows about their meeting. He is stuck, and Mizuho tries to get him to trust her by following her human handbook. But all she does is make him race across the ship until he gets to the control room, where Marie, the ship's AI, is in charge. Kei pushes Marie out of the way and starts hitting all the buttons to get away. As the ship starts to move over the lake, Mizuho learns where they are and that gravity is becoming unstable. She runs to the control room and wakes Marie up to fix everything. But the teleportation mechanism breaks down and transports Kei to a different reality. Mizuho runs to save him and tells Marie to bring them back before they are sucked into a black hole. She quickly teleports them, and they end up in Kei's uncle's bathtub. Minoru quickly goes inside to investigate who's breaking into his house, and he comes face to face with what looks like a rather bad situation, which makes him jealous. Kei is apprehensive about what to say to his aunt and uncle the next day because they put off the talk until after school. Mizuho is scared since everyone is talking about the UFO above the lake, but she's also worried about what to say to Kei's aunt and uncle. Teacher Mizuho teleports Kei to the gym storage room at lunchtime to talk about what they will tell his aunt and uncle. Someone shows up out of nowhere and locks the door behind them. Marie asks Mizuho to teleport them back, but she accidentally sends herself to where they are instead. Marie runs out of energy and falls asleep, which makes things worse. Mizuho says that Marie is in charge of the ship's systems and that she has been acting suspiciously since last night. Kei knows it's his responsibility for pushing her so hard. They have to wait for Marie to wake up since they can't ask for aid. If they do, Mizuho could get in trouble for being alone with a student. Mizuho pulls out some snacks as the sun goes down and she gets hungry. This catches Kei's notice. He thinks it's strange that she has such an Earth-like taste after just being there for a few days. Mizuho goes on to say that her father was from Earth, so she knows certain foods, and that brand in particular makes her think of her father. On the other side, the main character's buddies look for him at his house. Minoru tells them he's sleeping to cover for him because he thinks Kei must be with his teacher. He also tells Mizuho his secret to make things fair when he gets back with Kei. He is 18 years old, but he is still in high school because he was in a coma for 3 years because of his sickness. For whatever reason, his body didn't grow over that time, therefore he seems younger now. He has to live with it because he is the only person on Earth who has this disease and there is no known medication or cure. He tells Mizuho that he won't tell anyone about her secret, which makes her trust him more. She says they should tell his family that they are dating to explain why they were in the bathtub together. Kei thinks this is a good idea to keep her secret safe. Mizuho kisses him on the cheek to thank him, and they almost kiss, but Minoru finds them and says that getting locked in the gym is a classic maneuver. But the principal also catches them because Minoru thought he was the janitor and asked him for the key. He tells them to come to his office to chat. Mizuho tries to help by blaming herself, and the principal agrees with her because she is an adult. He was ready to scold Mizuho when Minoru stepped in. He says that since they are married, neither of them has done anything wrong. The principal is doubtful, but Kei backs up his uncle's deception by saying he is 18 years old, explaining why he has been at school for 3 years because of his illness, and saying he is married to Mizuho. In order to make the lie plausible, Kei and Mizuho really sign the marriage paperwork. Because of this, the principal finds out that they are married when he visits to the civil registry. He tells them congratulations and promises to maintain the secret, since it's best for the students not to know. Kei's friends have noticed that he has been acting differently lately. He used to always go home with them, but now he appears more alone. Now that they are married, he has to live at Mizuho's house just in case the principal comes to check on their relationship. His uncle helps plan a little celebration to mark their wedding. This means a lot to Mizuho because she is an alien and has always wanted to know what weddings on Earth are like. Kei's pals think he could be going to see the teacher, who lives next door, so they decide to go to Mizuho's house to find out. Mizuho welcomes Kei's pals as he hides on the terrace so they don't notice him. Super Kei's buddies are nervously checking the whole house for anything unusual. Hosa goes out to the terrace even though Mizuho told him not to. Because of this, Kei needs to hold on to the edge of the balcony so he won't be found, but he falls, which gets everyone's attention. He hides in a doghouse, but the dog inside becomes mad and starts to nip at him. Finally, Kei gets away, and to clear up any doubts, he jumps out of his window and informs them that he was really looking for the UFO the whole time. Mizuho rushes to take care of Kei's wounds as soon as they leave. Later, they think about how to sleep since there is only one futon, and they all agree to sleep together. But Marie is ashamed, so she takes them to the spaceship before anything can happen between them. The pupils get their grades after a few days. Mizuho tells Kei that he should be worried about his grades because they are quite poor. She says she will help him over the weekend, which makes his classmates jealous. But Kei doesn't like being treated like a kid. Mizuho will be getting home late that day, so Kei has to have dinner at his uncle's house. This makes things even worse. Then Harakawa calls Kei and asks him to go to the movies with the rest of the gang on Sunday. He remembers that he was meant to study with Mizuho that day, but after thinking about it, he agrees to go regardless. Later, he goes back home and waits for Mizuho, but she is late since she has to talk to the other teachers. Kei takes advantage of the situation and tells her that he has to spend time with his friends. Therefore, he's going out with them instead of studying on Sunday. Harakawa goes to get Kei by himself, saying that the movie schedule changed and the others would meet them at the theater. Mizuho observes from her window and starts to think it might be a date when she sees them together. She isn't completely wrong, for later Harakawa's buddies make excuses not to come, leaving Harakawa and Kei alone. They choose to see the movie and walk around while they wait for it to start because they are already there. Mizuho has been surreptitiously watching them the whole time to make sure Kei isn't cheating on her. Harakawa's friends also come by to see how the date is going, and they notice that Mizuho is there and acting strangely. They call her from a distance, and she runs away, thinking she's been captured. Sadly, her escape causes her to run into Kei and Harakawa, which gives away her whereabouts. She tells them that she is following Kei because her uncle is worried about him, and she wants to help him. Kei says he's sorry and leaves home, trying not to show how angry he is with Mizuho. Mizuho says she's sorry to Harakawa, and as soon as she's out of sight, she disappears, actually teleporting to where Kei is to say she's sorry for spying on him. But Kei is irritated and can't say anything because his heart starts to gallop and he passes out. Kei wakes up hours later and tells Mizuho he's sorry for acting like a child. But he also asks her directly if she is okay with him. Mizuho says she doesn't know, but she knows she doesn't want to be without Kei, especially after being afraid of losing him and being alone. Kei wants to kiss her, but Mizuho is ashamed and admits that she kissed him when he was sleeping, which is when they both had their first kiss. They both feel better now that they understand each other better, and they stroll home holding hands. Kei and Mizuho travel on vacation to an island where no one knows them a few days later. This lets them be themselves. Mizuho looks amazing in a swimsuit, and Kei has to deal with the reaction in his trousers without anyone noticing. On their way to the hotel, they see someone building an airplane. This makes them think about Professor Yamada, a teacher at their school who is also into this hobby. Sadly, he is there with Kei's pals, who were brought there to help him. The boys know Kei, so he had to leave so they don't see him with Mizuho. Sadly, Ichigo, his friend, finds him. Kei has to tell them that they are on a family trip, but haven't gotten there yet. They are lucky that they don't ask for further information. Kei needs to stay and help the professor now because it looks like he has nothing else to do while he waits for his family. He finally comes back to the hotel after a few hours and can be alone with Mizuho. But she chooses to go about the hotel, and they run across Kei's pals again, which is strange because the professor had arranged for his students to stay there so no one would suspect anything. Mizuho tells the pupils to go have fun somewhere else while the teachers talk. Kei spends time with his pals, but most of the time he just watches them play. Mizuho, on the other hand, has trouble keeping up with what Professor Yamada is saying. Later, they all go back to their rooms and pick one to hang out with. Mizuho quietly gives Kei the key card to the room, telling him to meet her there later. The gang talks, drinks, and plays cards. It's becoming late, and Mizuho is in her room waiting for Kei. Kei keeps looking at the time and wishes she could join her. But Harakawa takes Kei out to buy some goods. And when he stands up, he doesn't notice that his room key card has fallen. Harakawa stops Kei outside because she needs to talk about how she feels and wants to know if he feels the same way. Meanwhile, the gang is going back to their rooms at the hotel, and when they are getting their keys, they accidentally mix them up. Because of this, Hayasuke goes into Kei's room, and in her half-awake condition, she thinks he is part of her dream and kisses him without thinking. Matagu, on the other side, walks into Kei and Mizuho's room when he is still half asleep and accidentally touches Mizuho. They both wake up scared, and Mizuho's scream is so loud that others outside can hear it. Kei hears the scream and runs back to their room. There, Mizuho is screaming because someone came in and touched her. He says he's sorry for not being there and helps Mizuho calm down. They travel to the beach together, and Mizuho tells Kei that she was scared when she heard the door open because she assumed it was him. She had been waiting for him. Kei is thrilled with this. A little girl sees them preparing to kiss and starts crying because she fell in love with Kei at first sight, and now she sees him kissing the instructor. Mizuho thinks this is a little odd, so she asks Kei who the girl is, but he doesn't know. Still, she doesn't trust him, and this makes Mizuho throw a fit and walk away in rage. The main character recognizes that their relationship isn't going anywhere after 2 months. He chooses to take the lead and hug Mizuho from behind, but it's not her. It's her mother, Hatsuho, who has come to meet her daughter's spouse. Hatsuho and Kei talk for a time, and then Hatsuho starts to wonder if Kei is really the right man for her daughter. To make things worse, Meiho, Mizuho's younger sister, shows up and doesn't like Kei at all. She thinks he is little, pale, and thin, and she doesn't think he can make her pretty sister happy. Later, Kei leaves for a walk so that Mizuho's family can chat without him. He runs into his buddies, who say it's strange that Hayasuke hasn't left his house since they got back from the beach. Kei wants to know what's going on, so he resolves to go see Hayasuke later. Hayasuke tells Kei that Ichigo told him how she felt that night, but he doesn't know what to say or do when he sees her again. He doesn't know if he feels the same way. Kei tells him that he might want to give it a try because some individuals fall in love after getting to know each other, based on his own experience. Hayasuke, on the other hand, is still not sure. The next day, he pulls Hayasuke along to seek for Kei, but Hirosu becomes angry and warns him to stop getting involved. He says that Kei should do something about it instead of merely wasting time. Kosu is mad and almost punches Kei, but he immediately sees that Kei is right. He asks Kei directly if he is in love because of the way he is talking. Kei agrees and says he plans to tell her how he feels. Hirosuke keeps his word and talks to Kei. He informs her that he doesn't want to stay in the town for long since he wants to go to Tokyo and become a successful politician. This makes it hard for him to be with someone from the same town. Kei supports his goals, but she cries and begs him to let her love him. She promises to try her best to be with him wherever he goes. When he sees her cry, Hirosuke can't keep back his feelings any longer and tells her he loves her too. This is a good thing for both of them. Kei is happy for the new couple, and this gives him the courage to tell Mizuho how he feels. She then admits that she feels the same way, and just as they are about to kiss for the first time, Meiho steps in. She can't stand watching her sister kiss Kei, so she asks Maruru to destroy Kei, but Maruru is busy with Marie, which makes Meiho angry and unable to get rid of the main character. As time goes on, things get better for Hayasuke. He and Kei wear matching costumes to show everyone that they are together. Things aren't going as smoothly for Kei at home, though. Meiho hates him so much that she tries to convince her mom to take him away and keep him away from her sister. Everyone is surprised that their mother is not completely against the idea. She thinks Kei is a lot like her late husband. Mizuho is really angry about this, since he doesn't want anyone to try to take him away. Kei helps his teacher assemble the plane again the next day and runs into Haracle. Mizuho is seeking for him, but she can't find him, so she sends Marie to look for him. Marie finds him, but she scares Harakalov, who falls on Kei just as Mizuho gets there. This makes a scene that is easy to do wrong. He says it was all a coincidence and that they were merely helping the teacher, but Mizuho departs angry. Meiho hears her sister crying and thinks she wants to get rid of Kei because he hurt her. Meiho takes Kei to the end of the universe and informs him that he will stay there forever since he injured Mizuho. But Kei won't keep quiet because he really loves Mizuho. Meiho chooses to kill him without paying attention to him. Kei rushes for his life until a bolt of lightning hits close by. He pretends to be hurt to get Meiho to come closer, and when she does, he grabs her to stop her from assaulting again. But she still says that being with Mizuho will only hurt her. For a time, he starts to believe her, and his anguish makes him fade away. Meiho is scared because his heart is starting to slow down. Mizuho comes to save Kei, which is a good thing, but she becomes mad at Meiho for driving him to the point of death. But when Kei hears Mizuho's voice and her appeal for him to come back, he wakes up out of nowhere. Meiho understands that they really love each other, therefore she agrees with her sister's choice. Their mother says it's too bad since she really thinks Kei would be better for herself, or that Meiho might have had him, which makes Meiho nervous. They both choose to go back to their own world, since they know Mizuho will be safe with Kei. But Meiho chooses to show her mother she believes her by offering the main character a kiss of thanks. Mizuho sees this and runs away, which is too bad. Kei tells Mizuho that it was only a way to say thank you, and he kisses her to show her what a real kiss of love looks like. Mizuho is happy, yet she keeps crying because she doesn't know how she feels. It's the start of a new school year, and Kei sleeps in because she's used to the summer schedule. Mizuho forgets to set an alarm. He hurries to get ready, yet he still gets there late. Mizuho, on the other hand, can explain why she was late because she is the teacher. When Kei finally gets to class, Mizuho yells at him for being late, which upsets him a little because he thinks she could have let it go, especially since she was late too. Kei, on the other hand, is very satisfied with her relationship with Hyasuke. When they're alone, he acts very differently than she thought he would. Thank you for watching to this point. For the anime name, check the comment section. For part 2 and more interesting anime recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got other anime recaps for you. Check our playlist or choose a video. Thanks again for watching.